her voice, singing in the wind. Feel her gentle touch in the golden sunlight. She was born to love, kiss our tears away, vanish all our fears, fill the world with joy. She's the woman of the earth, spreading love and joy, fun and laughter. Woman of the earth, making miracles forever after. Loving, caring, working, sharing, teaching, singing, mothering.
Isang nag-aalam, maulan at makakalikasang gabi, Pilipinas. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all of the Earthlings watching us around the world. My name is Shane Kitana Tormes, your reigning Miss Philippines Fire. And welcome to one of the most anticipated pre-pageant events, the Cultural Competition. Before anything else, join us in our trend by using Me Loves, short for Mother Earth, Miss Earth, and me, as in yourself. The delegates have been posting their eco activities, using this one to promote their different environmental activities, the eco-tourist spots of the place they're representing, and its environmental initiatives. So hindi lang naman po ang mga eco-delegates natin this year ang pwede mag-post at gamitin ng hashtag nito dahil any one of us could be an eco-delegate. So what are you waiting for? Join and tag us in this trend and we'll be happy to see your videos too. Again, Me Love, short for Mother Earth, Miss Earth, and yourself. Like for example, tonight, since meron tayong Cultural Attire Competition, siguro ang hashtag ka na lang is hashtag Pinoy Pride. Kasi tonight, we'll be seeing different representations of different provinces about their culture and tradition. Siyempre, siksik-liglig talaga ang kultura ng Pilipino. I am just so happy because this competition is a celebration of our rich heritage and a toast to the creative genius of our fashion designers. And as we all know, the cultural costume has become a conversation piece in the pageant world in recent years. Conversations and discussions like when and how can you consider a costume a representation of a country? And when can you say that it's just a costume? Period. Di ba? Medyo napapaisip ka dun sa tanong na yon. Share your thoughts in the comment section below and we'll try to read your answers at the end of the show if we still have time. Kaya magdasal tayo na sana matapos ka na maaga para mabasa natin ang inyong mga hinaing. Ano masasabi nyo about Cultural Attire Competition this tonight? And Earthlings, you may now cast your vote for the Cultural Attire Competition, the Ecosystem app. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, today's the best time to do so. Again, our question is, what makes a costume or an outfit a cultural costume? Or again, the question is, what makes a costume or an outfit a cultural costume? Kaya naman, don't be shy to say your hi sa ating comment section below. And of course, send in your love and support to your favorite eco-delegate. But while you're thinking about your answers, let me first introduce to you tonight's judges who will decide which cultural costume stands out. Kanina na nakilala ko sila, medyo kinabahan ako. Siguro ako yung candidate, medyo makikita ko na medyo critical siguro. But I really admire these people kasi talaga namang tumatak sila sa industriyang ito. Kaya without further ado, let me introduce to you our panel of judges. Our first judge is an award-winning, multi-nominated costume designer for theater, television, and advertising. He teaches Filipino costume history and world design at the School of Design and Arts, College of St. Benilde de La Salle University. He was the head costume designer for the Southeast Asian Games opening ceremonies hosted by the Philippines in 2019. Nakita ko to at napanood ko to. It's none other than Mr. Eric PINEDA. Hi, Sir Eric.
Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Isang maulan, ngunit magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.
We're so happy to have you back here, Mr. Eric. Thank you so
It is
much.
always my pleasure for Miss Earth.
Chat to you later, sir. Our next judge is the features editor of PeopleAsia and PeopleAsia Enclaves magazines. He is also a contributing editor of Philstar.com. Prior to joining PeopleAsia, he worked for some of the country's leading broadsheets for close to 30 years and was the resident fashion critic for one of them. Let us all welcome Mr. Alex Vergara. Hi, Sir Alex.
Hello, good evening to everyone. I'm happy to be here. Like Eric, I'm also honored to be part of this annual search for the best costume.
Thank you so much for gracing our virtual show for tonight, sir. And to complete our panel of judges, we have with us a certified public accountant, a state auditor, an Oxin artist, and Missosology international correspondent. Please welcome one of my favorites, Mr. AMEER S. GAMAMA. Hi, Sir AMEER.
Hi,
Welcome
everyone.
back.
Hi, Shane. It's nice to see you again. Hi, Sir Eric and Sir Alex. Nice to meet you. And I'm so excited tonight, because I want to see the representations of every city, municipality, original costumes. So, super excited ako. Thank you, Miss Earth, for this opportunity.
Grabe, masasabi na nating resident judge na yun si Sir AMEER because he's always here with us. So maraming salamat.
Thank you, Miss Shane.
One question lang po para sa inyong tatlo for tonight. Ano po ang hinahanap nyo para masabi natin ng isang costume or isang outfit ay isang cultural outfit na may represent ang ating bansa sa buong mundo? So what is that will make a candidate for tonight stand out sa inyong mga mata? Any one of you may start. Sir Eric.
A cultural costume is a representation of the region or the municipality. I am not looking for a bongga factor. In fact, I would like the costume to be true to the nature of the municipality. And secondly, because this is Miss Earth, and this is Miss Earth has an environmental cause, I would like to see costumes done with organic or recycled materials.
Wow! What ito yung sinasabi na yung observation ni Sir Eric since last year he is with us. How about you, Sir Alex? What are you looking for tonight?
Yeah. For me, I'm looking for something rooted in tradition, but at the same time fresh, which is kind of a top balancing act. And since this is TV, I expect to be dazzled as well, a bit, just a bit. I mean, I don't want the costume to veer away from something like, something that is too, unrealistic. But at the same time, it has to have the wow factor to, kasi nasa TV tayo might as well, di ba, dazzle the audience a bit. That's it.
Sino kaya magpapa-wow kay Sir Alex for tonight? How about you, Sir AMEER?
Yeah, Shane, I am looking. I've been to a lot of pageants already here and abroad. So, for Philippines, I want to see something very unique, which actually signifies a true identity of a certain place, a region. Because, to be honest, sa Miss Earth, very unique ang Miss Earth. Kasi dyan ko lang na-discover yung ibang mga lugar na hindi ko pa napupuntahan, to be honest. And because of that, I want to see, gusto ko makita yung mga national costume, or should I say regional costume coming from that places. So yung gusto ko makita, and something unique, something new. Somehow it represents the true ethnic group of a certain region or municipality or city. So I'm excited.
Wow. Alam niyo, sir, sobra ako na-amaze because I've been learning a lot from different panel that we'll be having since the day one that we have the pre-pageant competition. And I've been asking them kasi curious din ako and I wanted to learn ano nga ba yung nagpapawaw sa mga experts, di ba? Ngayong gabi, siguro dahil nga naman since nagpa-pageant ako ng ilang taon at nakasuot na din ng iba't ibang cultural attire sa buong Pilipinas, siguro ang hinahanapin ko na lang ngayon yung magbibigay sa akin ng feels. Yung kilabot factor na, wow, I love being a Pinay and a Pinoy. So, narinig na natin kung ano ang hinahanap ng ating mga experts for tonight. Thank you, judges. I won't keep you waiting anymore. Alam ko, Pilipinas, you're very much excited to see all of our delegates for tonight representing 66 cities, municipalities, and provinces all over the country. Here are the delegates of Miss Philippines Earth 2021 in the Cultural Attire Competition.
Alamina City, Lian, Cassandra, Chan, Rakuya. Alamina City is known for thousands of amazing islands that never disappoint, in which you can dip and dive in different islands and see several amazing nature spots. It is why Lian's costume is inspired from the wave of the sea creatures and corals, which represents one of the known tourist spots in her city, the 100 Islands. Anda Bohol, Irish de Lima. Her cultural attire is inspired by the mystical island of Anda Bohol, the Lamanok Island. It is shimmering in green, paired with arched edges, and accented with pearls and diamonds that signifies the beautiful creatures in the depths of the waters of Anda. Irish wants it to be unique and must be anchored to their culture and heritage sites, as it is for her the best way to show everyone what Anda really is. Angeles City, Gail Ventic. Tara na, sulagpo tana. This costume resembles the mythical phoenix, which symbolizes Angeleños' resiliency. Rising triumphant from the ashes of Mount Pinatubo erupted in 1991 and transformed Angeles City into a soaring progressive metropolis. The dark-colored layers of the skirt are reminiscent of the ashes that dampen not only the vast lands of Angeles City, but also the spirit of every local. The premium silver and gold colors dominate the upper portion of the costume and extend to the proud and mighty wings and culminate with the majestic headdress. At Timonan, Quezon, AMEER Alma Mari. AMEER's cultural attire reflects the amalgam of various culture activities in Atimonan, the Tagultul Fishing Festival. It represents the fishes, the sea, and the nature of fishing habits, the bountiful catch, and the traditional way of living of Atimonanins. Her advocacy is seamlessly woven into her cultural attire and their Tagultul festival, with colorful corals gracing her whole costume, eye-catching fishes, and their legendary mermaid, the guard of our seas, who she also represents with her clothing and headpiece. Aurora Isabella, Myra Isabel Rola. This is a symbol of historical innovation, of their ancestors' nomadic living, and the ingenuity of Filipinos. Its purpose had since evolved, and Miss Aurora Isabella takes pride of her roots as a farmer, a remnant of her past, an innovation and a symbol of our humble farmers' lives, the Kageton. Baclayon, Bohol, Jezebel Ugat. Her cultural attire represents the rich marine and land biodiversity of her town, Baclayon, Bohol. As a small town blessed with the wonders of nature, the design embodies the plethora of life forms, both on land and water, that is endemic to her town. Balayan, Batangas, Elise Relacion Galvez. Refleksyon ng pagputok ng Bulkan Taal. Kaikbat ang marugdog na pananampalataya ng mga Batanggenyo. ang pangkulturang kasuotan na binigyang buhay ng liwanag ng animoy mga kidlat na siyang gumulantang sa sambayanan at patuloy na magbabanta ng pagsabog ng bulkan. Ang kasuotang ito ay sumisimbolo sa pangako ng bagong umaga na may pag-asa, pananalig at pagbangon. Mahal kong Bulkang Taal, Bangon, Batangas. Baler Aurora, Verna, Abby, Katusalam. The fiery red and black Filipiniana symbolizes the celebration of Philippine-Spanish Friendship Day, a jubilee of merging cultures among the Balearinos and the Spaniards. The neck and headpieces signify the majesty of Baler, delicately handcrafted from coconut shells and coconut powder by the inmates of Aurora Provincial Inmates. This piece was made with the collective efforts of Baler locals, showing that aside from its scenic spots, Baler is also overflowing with creativity and unity. Bayambang, Pangasinan, Jan Arleigh De Guzman. This costume is an optimum piece that depicts the rich cultural heritage of Balon Bayambang and pays tribute to the breadwinners of the municipality. The headpiece represents the plant named Kolibangbang, where the town got its name, which grew in abundance, especially in the hilly southern part. The bodice is inspired to the first person known as Agalit that belongs to an indigenous tribe, Aita, in the early part of the 16th century. The papier-mâché onion backdress is made from old newspaper. This Rian Fernandez piece definitely calls for a celebration to Bayambagueños' pride. Bugalyon, Pangasinan, China K. Verosil. From dusk till dawn, she'll fight for what is right. She'll fight for her love that brings her the light. She is the legendary warrior of Pangasinan, Princess Orduja. This costume represents a young, beautiful, and well-educated ruler. She's a woman of strength, a heroine that led her soldiers to the battlefields to protect her land and environment. The shield was shaped like a carabao, our national animal, which is a big help to the farmers in the agricultural town of Bugalyon, while the costume is made with indigenous material, which can be found in Bugalyon's different crafts. Calamba City, Maria Trisha Medrana. Her national costume, the warrior, was designed by Mr. Eduardo de Castro. Calambeños are known to be resilient people. We fight all together to reach success. The gold color represents the golden heart of our people and the stardust soul of the Calambeños, while the cross signifies that our city is a God-centered home for everyone. We embrace the Catholic faith with our purest hearts. The banga or clay pot symbolizes the name of Calamba City. It was built to commemorate the folk tale on how the city got its name. And all in all, it denotes our culture, tradition, arts, and the life of every Calambeños.
Wow, that's our first batch of eco-delegates in their cultural attires. But before we heard the thoughts of our experts for tonight, thank you to one of our sponsors, the municipality of Nagtipunan. Nagtipunan is a first-class municipality in the province of Quirino. Nagtipunan means convergence point, where all the major tributaries of Cagayan River in Aurora, Nueva Vizcaya, and Quirino meet. It is surrounded by majestic bodies of water, slick rolling hills, exceptional man-made attractions, and a breathtaking landscape. Nagtipunan prides itself in its world-class beauty, rich culture, as well as the one-of-a-kind experience that it offers as a tourist destination. Maraming salamat po to the municipality of Nagtipunan for supporting Miss Philippines Earth this year. So let's go back to the competition. Pakinggan natin ano nga bang masasabi ng ating mga judges for our first batch of eco-delegates. Sir Alex, Sir Eric, and Sir AMEER, ano pong masasabi nyo sa first batch? Meron bang mga nag-stand out sa inyo? Anyone of you may start.
Okay. Shane, most of the costumes are inspired from parang mga aquatic designs, parang for the and yes. I've seen one Filipiniana costume so far. I love its simplicity, something na parang, I've always been a fan of Filipiniana because it really signifies Philippines, the costume. Yes. And simple yet flawless. And I love the intricate of the designs. Most of the costumes, may mga malalaki tayong costumes, no? Na talagang
Yes.
sobrang effort talagang ginawa ng mga candidate natin. And I love how they bring it into, to their culture, to their heritage, kung anong meron sila sa kanilang probinsya. Talagang ma-identify mo agad. One, for instance, pag sinabi mo kasing, pag sinabi mong Atimonan, Quezon, first time kong makita na may mermaid doon. So, honestly, natuwa ako. Kasi it's my first time na parang, may mermaid pala, mga history about it, something ganon. So, yeah, I love all of these costumes so far.
Wow, glad to hear that from you, Sir AMEER. Totoo yan, napakilala tayo sa iba't ibang kultura and kung ano man ang pinagsimulan ng mga pangalan ng ating mga bayan dito sa Pilipinas. How about you, Sir Eric and Sir Alex?
Well, can I go ahead, Alex?
Yeah, go ahead.
The advantage of a virtual presentation is that the candidates are able to shoot in their own respective locales. No,
Yes.
So it gives us a glimpse of the area which otherwise hindi naman natin napupuntahan. So yun ang kagandahan niyan, no? Nasisilip natin ang ganda ng Atimonan, nasisilip natin ang mga palayan sa Pangasinan. So it gives us an idea of what these towns, municipalities, provinces have to offer.
Wow. I couldn't agree more to what you have said, Sir Eric. How about you, Sir Alex?
Like what Eric said, it gives an entire story of what the province is, where the girl comes from, and what the costume stands for. I mean, it has an overall effect that you don't normally see in a stage, because they're given a single screen to highlight themselves. Unlike when you're competing against each other, medyo nakakalula na, di ba? Dito, solong-solo nila. Nevertheless, may mga nag-stand out pa rin sa akin. Well, like Atimonan, I mean, how could you not be wowed with it? And then for its simplicity, I like the one in Baler. I mean, naiba siya. Because
Yes.
the combination of red and black always, is always...
Yeah, how can you go wrong with that?
How can you go wrong? But at the same time, it's not a cliche interpretation because of that coconut thing around her neck.
Yes.
And like AMEER, I also noticed a lot of fish-inspired costumes because we're an island nation, so...
Archipelago.
Yes.
Natural lang yun.
Totoo,
Tawa
sir. Yes.
Grabe, no? First batch pa lang po yan. Ako may mga nag-stand out sa akin, pero mamaya ako nagsasabihin. Siyempre, hindi naman ako judge ngayon. Anyway, to all of our Earthlings watching us right now, meron tayong question kanina. What makes a costume or an outfit a cultural costume? Please send in your thoughts. Gusto naming malaman kung ano yung mga naiisip nyo about the cultural attires for tonight, and we will try to read that at the end of the show. And without further ado, tuloy-tuloy na natin tong competition for tonight with our second batch of eco-delegates in their cultural attires.
Caloocan City, Jeremy Nuki. As a Filipina, a Pinaflores Filipiniana white ball gown reminds us that our country is very rich in culture and natural beauty. Its land depicts hope and light, just like in the historical times of Caloocan, where Katipuneros fought for our freedom. Through their work to help the Philippines break free from Spanish colonial rule. Rosary symbolizes our religious culture and God-fearing country, and a crown which defines every single Filipina out there is a queen of her own. Just like this Filipiniana, we are all a royalty of our own culture. Pinaflores Filipiniana white ball gown made by Lani Liwag. Carrascal, Surigao del Sur, Luis Tunis. The Bonobo Tribe is the ancestral people of Carrascal, Surigao del Sur. Their tribal wear is woven with intricate designs and unique patterns using the colors red, black, yellow, and white. Women are adorned with fully beaded accessories, and men play the tribal rhythm on their drum. Together, the Bonobos perform their traditional dances and rituals. Carrascal recognizes that community well-being and development is supported by knowing the cultural identity and rekindling the primal connection with Mother Nature. Katanawan, Quezon, Vivian Fabella. It has been their tradition to celebrate Sagrado Corazon de Jesus every month of June. A lady is dressed quaintly to praise and thank the Lord for the whole year's blessings. This year, they decided to celebrate it in an eco-friendly fashion. The costume was delicately crafted from coconut fiber, sinamay with mangrove propagales, handmade by local designers of Katanawan. Cebu City, Guia Moreno. Steel symbolizes power, progress, industrialization. Perfect representation for the Queen City of the South and the bold and fearless Cebuanos. They embrace industrialization. Yet they preserve their pop culture, which is reflected in these colorful coral reefs. Fun fact, they take pride in the underwater ecosystems in Cebu because its diversity of colors means it's healthy. Claver, Surigao del Norte, Jan Junibel Lura. The Mamanwa tribe is a treasured local indigenous group of the municipality of Claver, Surigao del Norte, and is known as one of the oldest tribes in the Philippines. The Mamanwas are traditionally into farming and hunting as a form of survival, but as Claver's economy flourished, they were also given the equal opportunities when it comes to livelihood and educational opportunities as the other local population. Despite the big leap in Claver's development, the Mamanwa domains are highly protected and treasured as part of Claver's cultural heritage. Cordon Isabella Zenith Can. This masterpiece reflects the beauty of Cordon. Various indigenous materials were used to emanate the rich and vast culture of the Cordon, the home of the Manlaon Festival, an Ilocano term for farmers. The base of the gown is made of Verna sacks that the local farmers commonly use to stock their harvested crops. All beaded work in the entire gown was hand-sewn by local artisans. The artwork in the tail of the gown was done by a local painter, showcasing the rich spiritual connection of the people of Cordon, and the skirt showcases various eco-tourist spots, landmarks, and products in our town that are intricately done by the creative hands of Cordonians. Cotabato City, Alexandra Salazar. This traditional ensemble portrays a princess who lives in the midst of the very rich Islamic heritage of Cotabato City. It is inspired by the Sharif Kabunsan Festival, which is a colorful celebration in honor of the Arab missionary who introduced Islam to Mindanao. The skirt is made of inaul, a traditional woven fabric of the Maguindanaoans, embellished with sparkling beads and crystals, along with golden ornaments, which epitomizes the city of cultural charms. The olive green veil represents the Rio Grande de Mindanao, which is the second largest river in the Philippines. Davao City, Elda Luis Aznar. The Bonobo Tagabawa constitute one of the largest groups among the indigenous peoples of southern Mindanao. Their embroidery and textiles continue to profoundly connect to ideas of the South in relation to their group, especially with regard to shared ideals of spiritual understanding and belonging. From the earplugs connected under the chin by numerous varicolored strings of beads, and arms and legs are laden with bracelets and bangles of brass, of shell, of cunningly woven vegetables, tendrils, and fibers. To women's coiffure, embellished with bead-encrusted combs cut out of wound. Digo City, Irish Ibuan. Obo Bonobo has a very colorful clothing. They prepare the fabrics with stripes of red or yellow or anything having a maze of colors. The cloth is usually made from dried abaca fiber with intricate design. Ginuwatan are in woven representational designs such as flowers. Abaca production continues among Bonobo communities because it's the primary raw material of the Bonobo traditional dress. Dumaguete City, Krisha Hamisarani. A representation of history and culture combined with the elegance and sophistication of the Philippine mestiza dress takes center stage in this quintessential silhouette of the modern Filipiniana. This cultural regalia of the empowered Dumaguetena draws inspiration from the scenic location of Dumaguete City, where the sun rises. It features a headpiece, which symbolizes the shining aura and the gentle spirit of a Dumagueteña woman, and a cape, which is a symbol of anointed authority and power, portrayed by fiesta queens of the Bigon era. El Nido Palawan, Dana Yapercon. Miss El Nido Palawan is wearing a costume that depicts the rich culture and biodiversity of her place. El Nido derived its name after the edible nest of swiftlet birds, or balin sa sayaw, found in the limestone cliffs. These nests would be the main ingredient of the gourmet Nido soup, which is a native delicacy El Nido has to offer. The whole ensemble is made up of recycled materials, a modern Filipiniana embellished with the beauties and wonders of El Nido Palawan.
Wow, that's the second batch of our eco delegates in their cultural attires. But before we hear the thoughts of our experts for tonight, thank you so much, Tara Fastbreak Logistics Inc. and SunSmart Solar Power Technology for supporting Miss Philippines Earth this year. So, Sir Eric, Sir Alex, and Sir Ameer, that's the second batch of our eco delegates. What can you say about these lovely ladies?
Well,
Should
you
I
know
go?
what? I can't I can't help but feel proud. I mean, seeing them, and especially during those close-ups, you could see the details that went into those costumes, the embellishment. Talagang pinagpaguran talaga. You could see yung blood, sweat and tears ika nga nung mga gumawa na craftsman. And sabi nga ni Eric kanina, it's a community effort. It takes a village to do a beautiful costume.
Yes.
So no particular designer has been credited so far because it's a community effort, which is
Any
very...
standouts? Any standouts, sir? Sino mga nag-stand out sa inyo? You can mention.
I like the one in Digos.
Digos.
Yeah,
Miss Digos.
And then for her use of because this is Miss Earth, for her use of recycled materials, I'm also giving bonus points to El Nido.
Wow. Talagang pag eco warrior ka at eco delegate ka, may plus points ka. Anyway, Sir Eric and Sir Ameer, your thoughts po? And any standouts?
I agree with Alex regarding El Nido. We appreciated the fact that it's made from recycled materials. I'm also delighted that a lot of the southern ethnic costumes are highlighted. No, because what I want to stress here that yes, it is true that, for example, in the case of the Dumaguete, that the Filipino terno is a Philippine costume. But having said that, the costumes of our ethnic brethren, the Manobos, the Maguindanawans, and all of these hinabi fabrics are also Filipino. No, pare-pareho yan. It truly represents the diversity of our country. Lahat yan represents our culture, and we should celebrate it.
Wow. Those words, no? How about you, Sir Ameer?
Yeah, actually, Shane, no, I agree with all of the comments. But one thing I would like to emphasize is this batch proves that not all big costumes would make you stand out. You know, I have seen a lot of tribal costumes, tribal wear, should I say, or cultural wear. Na-appreciate ko yung intricate ng costumes, especially dun sa mga tribal wear. Though it's simple, but yet you could easily identify that that costume or that particular costume is coming from that particular place, you know. So I appreciate the tribal wear. This is a batch of many colorful costumes, modern Filipiniana or even modern Filipiniana and recycled materials, you know. Pero I really appreciate those costumes which truly represents their tribal wear, you know. This is a batch where I can say na not all big costumes would make you stand out. A simple costume that has a lot of history in it. I appreciate it.
Wow, grabe naman yan. Ang masasabi, ang takeaway ko talaga sa second batch is, it widens our perspective na hindi lang naka-enclose ang Philippine culture sa Filipiniana. Marami pa pong may offer ang Pilipinas when it comes to cultural attire. Kaya sana mabigyan din ng mga fashion designers mga idea na pwede pala ito. Once na meron pa sa ating mga girls na mag-represent ng country in an international pageant. So, sa ating mga Earthlings, second batch pa lang yan. First 20 girls are down and 40 more to go. Let's watch what this batch 3 prepared for us, our eco-delegates in their cultural attire batch 3.
Esperanza Sultan Kudarat. Amira Alicia Kamhawe is glitzed up as a dignitary Muslim princess, epitomizing the legendary creature of Maranao folklore, the siramanok, or its golden form. This handcrafted creation glistens the trajectory of the Islamic heritage that is culturally esteemed in Sultan Kudarat. The ensemble was carefully sewn by hand, with the beadwork individually crafted as a visualization of cultural harmony, the feathers as representation of soaring benevolence, and the golden earth tones as a reflection of the luscious land of her origin. General Santos City Sunshine May Ningasca. This cultural attire is in honor of the Blaan tribe of Mindanao, who are also the earliest documented settlers of General Santos City, and coined its original name, Ladyangan, which refers to a tree with thorns on its trunk and stems that had reportedly thrived in the city. Notable in the ensemble is the tabi fabric, used as a tubular skirt for Blaan women or used as formal pants among the Blaan men. The cloth attached to the headdress is almost a century old, weaved by no less than the late Fu Yabing, one of the country's national living treasures. Iloilo City, Rosel Angela Songano. This cultural attire is heavily influenced by Suklan Malayon, the goddess of home, hearth, families, and happiness. She is referred to as a protecting sister and is depicted as a beautiful lady accompanied by birds that serve as her messengers. Suklang Malayon is a goddess, a guardian, and a woman who serves and protects the earth and its inhabitants. Hagna Bohol, Mary Gwyn Corambis. Mary's cultural attire is a modern interpretation of the traditional wear for Mazurka de Hagna. The costume celebrates Hagna Anmon's love for culture and the arts, and conveys a deep connection to religion and faith. It also celebrates the town's booming strawberry industry and is made of raffia fabric, an organic and eco-friendly material. Lapu-Lapu City, Claire Codilia. Batik, also known as pintados, is a Cebuano word for tattoo, signifying a mark or a seal on one's body. The culture of wearing batik was evident in the Sri Bisaya people of Mactan long before the arrival of the Spaniards. To appreciate our cultural identity, we must be able to understand our history, as we live amongst the generations and generations of descendants from a rich heritage, who value unity of our people with stories that last a lifetime. Las Piñas City, Hannah Kinalayo. The costume was designed by Dan Esmalde. It was made as a tribute to the 15th Las Piñas Water Lily Festival. Water Lily Festival celebration promotes the water lily handicraft, weaving enterprise created using water lilies that clog rivers and waterways as raw materials in making mats, decorations, and various handicrafts. The mestizo terno was made from 100% dried water lilies to showcase the city's love for the environment as the giver of life and livelihood. This work aims to spark awareness and encourage people to be environmentally conscious that problems can turn into beautiful things. Mabini, Batangas, Samantha Elin Coloso. Samantha is wearing a blue modern Filipiniana inspired by a rainbow parrotfish. Parrotfish are colorful, tropical creatures that spend about 90% of their day eating algae off coral reefs. with Mabini, Batangas being the center of marine biodiversity. This almost constant eating performs the essential task of cleaning the reefs, which helps the corals stay healthy and thriving. Samantha's fan represents a parrotfish's fins. Her trail emulates its tail, and her modern Filipiniana's intricate 3D details embody the rainbow scale-like features of a parrotfish. Mabini, Davao de Oro, Chena, Gamale, Solamillo. Chena is wearing the majestic creation of J. Navarro Palco, inspired by the essential facts and features of Mabini, Davao de Oro, that supports the fast-rising ecotourism, with a touch of modernity represented by the modern look of a Filipiniana to Mabini's coastal lines and sea areas, which are ecologically protected to safeguard the diverse marine ecosystem. The headdress enumerates the 11 municipalities of Davao de Oro, and Mabini is one in which its biodiversity flourishes from crest to reef, as the community gave importance to nature's cyclic dance, elegantly swaying to the waves of change. Mabitac Laguna, Helena Pearl Miranda. Miss Mabitac Laguna's cultural attire is named and inspired by her hometown, Amazing Mabitac, showcasing the 15 Blessed Barangay, highlighting the Nuestra Senora de Candelaria, their patron saint with its parish church with 126 steps to salvation. They celebrate the longest Christmas in the Philippines from January 1 to 6 of every year, called the Three Kings Festival, wherein people gather to celebrate and enjoy the so-called Pasabog ng Pera. The costume is made of rattan, banig, and boho, accentuated with wooden and glass beads to showcase their local materials as one of their sources of living. Makilala, North Cotabato, Ara Ragong. Ara's cultural attire was inspired by the Kalibungan Festival, representing the tribe people of the province of North Cotabato. Beneath the costume is a story of a land where diversity is celebrated and not a hindrance to what it can achieve: prosperity. The base of our costume is made out of inaul, which symbolizes royalty, and the colorful beads attached to it symbolize the important virtues and qualities of a North Cotabateño: resiliency and bravery. Malolos, Bulacan, Nika Vea. This gown depicts the smooth-flowing movement of the stream that embodies the transparency and resiliency of the Maloleños. It is a vision turned into life through the craftsmanship to perfection and inspired by crafting timeless treasures of Santa Cruzan, which originated in Bulacan and embellished with flowers and crystal stones that epitomize the gigantic jewelry industry of May Kawayan. It is a reminder that we embrace change but never forget the rich heritage to ensure conservation and sustainable progressive development, creating a social balance of the livelihood between humanity and environment.
That was a colorful and unique batch of our eco delegates in their cultural attires. But before hearing the thoughts of our experts for tonight, we would like to give thanks to JT Seneca Medical System Molecular Laboratory and Gandang Ricky Reyes chain of salons for supporting Miss Philippines Earth this year. Okay, Sir Alex, Sir Eric, and Sir Ameer. This one very colorful and makes me want to travel again because of how beautiful the places they've actually shown.
What this really proves, no, and I've always been saying that, is that Manila does not have a monopoly of talent, no. This really proves how talented our regional designers are, as exemplified by the cautions of Jensan City, and I love the innovation on the pants. Because that's a very good way to show a traditional ethnic attire and still make it modern. I applaud the designer who did the water lily for Las Piñas. Pero lahat sila ay pagpapatunay ng pagiging malikhain ng ating mga designers in the regions. No? Ang sineselebrate natin dito, hindi lang ang ating mga delegates, ang mga kandidato, kundi ang galing ng Filipino designers all over the Philippines.
Yes. Amen to that, Sir Eric. How about you, Sir Alex and Sir Ameer? What are your thoughts?
Shane, I know how rich the culture of Muslims because I'm also Muslim. So I really appreciate the costume, should I say the place, Sultan Kudarat, Esperanza Sultan Kudarat, because, I know how rich the culture Muslim has. So yung kulay niya, talagang nakuha niya yon. At ang bigat ng costume na yun, para sa akin, But still, she managed to carry it so well. Yung kulay na gold, it really represents the culture of the Muslim, the colorful. And also to mention, I like royal blue gowns kasi. I appreciate Manulus Bulacan costume. She looks so queenly. She looks so elegant on her national costume na wearing royal blue color costume, Filipiniana. And all the
Parang
rest,
Santa Cruzan.
yes,
That's my
yeah.
favorite color, blue.
Yeah, me too. And all the rest, all the rest are wearing their, traditional, should I say, heritage costume, yung regional costume nila. Ang gagaling ng design, ang intricate doon. Sobrang,
Yes.
ang ganda, ang galing din ng camera kasi talagang pinapakita yung how intricate the designs are. Sobrang na-appreciate ko yung mga detalye ng beads ng mga yon. Sobrang ang galing ng mga local designers natin. Bravo to all the designers.
Talagang bravo. I agree with you.
Bravo!
Bravo.
So happy. How about you, Sir Alex?
Well, the default thing for a city like Las Piñas to do is to do something modern. But she surprised us by coming up with a terno made of water lily. I mean, isn't that very creative, di ba?
Yes. Kudos to the
And
designer.
It's very colorful. I don't know how you could wear it for long, but she was able to pull it off. I have to give my
It was an idea that worked.
Yeah, it worked. Kudos to her. And then of course for authenticity, I love the one in Cotabato. I mean, the feathers and all the details, di ba? And then Jensen, the girl from Jensen was having fun.
Yes.
I
Yun ang
love those
mahalaga.
fans,
I
Sir,
love
can
the
I just-
plans.
Can I just say that was my first
it
time to
awakened
see
the
that kind of
70s feel in
costume.
me. That bell-button pants with the, it's a mixture of old and new with that bilan ensemble.
That was my first time actually to see that there's a costume pala na ganun sa Pilipinas. Kaya I was really happy watching her also. So
It is a
wow,
modern interpretation of a bilaan costume. So that's what we were saying. Na, you can reinterpret it and still respect the fabrics and the representations of this ethnic costume.
Ang galing ng mga detalye ng costume nila, sobrang ang galing.
I agree.
Bravo to our Filipino fashion designers. Totoo nang sinabi ni Sir Eric, malaking-malaki ang Pilipinas, 7,000 ang isla natin. Bakit naman hindi natin i-feature na wala lang sa NCR ang mga talented? Meron din sa Visayas at Mindanao. Kaya naman sa ating mga Earthlings for tonight, may question pa rin tayo. What makes a costume or an outfit a cultural costume? We want to hear your thoughts and we will make time and find way para mabasa ang inyong mga kasagutan mamaya at the end of the show. So that is actually our first half of the ladies for tonight. Panoorin naman natin ang inihanda ng ating mga eco-delegates in their cultural attires para sa ating batch 4.
Malungon Sarangani, Fatima Kate Bisan. Miss Philippines Earth Malungon's cultural costume is inspired by the ingenuity, unparalleled artistry, and colorful history of the Philippines' Blaan weavers. It is accessorized with gintlo and banig to pay homage to their art of weaving, vibrant culture, and exceptional tradition. The loyalty of this ensemble portrays the race of every Blaan for abundance, prosperity, and recognition. Mandaluyong City, Ronnie Meneses. Ronnie's cultural attire is a modern ethno-Filipinada design. It is a fusion of the mestiza dress from the northern part of the Philippines and the ethnic tribal region of the southern part of the country. The colors purple and gold were used to symbolize justice and power, two principles that truly represent the country and humanity. Mandaue City, Esperanza Mina. In Mandaue, Barangay Pagsabungan in the olden days, There were few recreational activities that people can join in. One of them was cockfighting sabong, cockfighting without blades attached to the roosters. Pagsabungan, in the far north of the town as the time goes by this cockfighting, became a cultural festival of Mandawehanon, as this costume is inspired by this festival, with its colorful feathers that represents the very sociable attitude of Mandawehanon. The walis design on top of its headdress represents the native culture in Barangay Paknaan that recently gave birth to Paknawan Festival. Manila City, Sarah Margaret Hoson. Si Maria ng Kamaynilaan. From Barot Saya to Traje de Mestiza, Filipino values and culture evolve. So should our national costume. The Filipiniana is not meant to die and should stay embedded in our lives, perhaps in a different and more modern form. The appearance of modern Filipiniana is a symbol and reminder that our country has a rich culture and natural beauty. Added with gold ornament to emphasize that a Filipina is a strong, beautiful, respected, and empowered woman. Maribohok Bohol, Jaya Caroline Gabaysen. This cultural costume takes inspiration from anahaw leaves and the rich flora and fauna of the province of Bohol. It also celebrates the Boholano ingenuity of using products originating from natural fibers, as evidenced by the use of the raffia fabric from the Tubigon loom weavers. The 3 white doves signify the 3 distinct of the province, and the 2 green doves signify unity and strength, characters we need in this time of the pandemic. Marilao, Bulacan, Malaya Moreno. The history of Marilao, Bulacan is derived from the word Madlao because there are many yellow flower farms in Marilao. This modern Filipinianan costume made by Pats Clarino is inspired by the Halamang Dilaw Festival of Marilao, Bulacan. Mualboal, Cebu, Charissa Rama, ocean-inspired Filipiniana. Mualboal is known for its healthy coral reefs and crystal clear blue waters. Inspired by the goddess queen of the sea, Amphitrite, this costume looks positively luminous in a fitted and flowing ocean blue color. The detailing on the bottom part of the gown is carefully handcrafted and adorned with incredible pearls detailing at the bodice. The Filipiniana sleeves are designed to showcase our cultural identity and by giving pride and honor to the Filipinos, taking inspiration and combination from coral reefs in Mualboal, adding to the overall heavenly allure of the ocean look. Nagtipunan Quirino, Saira, Ballesteros. Bukala tribe is widely known for being headhunters. It is already part of their historical culture to headhunt as a proof for their love, bravery, and title. However, as Nagtipunan have welcomed new races, settlers, and cultures, they have learned to embrace the sincerity of religion. This magnificent masterpiece symbolizes how religion can be a way of peace and progress, that everything is possible as long as there is love, respect, and kindness. And if we have accepted His Almighty from the deepest of hearts, we can be the bravest and kindest warrior that our earth has been needing. Naik Cavite, Jezreel de Ocampo. Ang inspirasyon sa kasuotang ito na nalikha ni Carl Balaw ay hango mula sa panungahing kinabubuhay ng mga Naikenyon, ang paglalaot o pangingisda. Ang kasuotan ay hinalintulad sa karaniwang suot ng mga mangingisda na balot mula ulo hanggang paanan upang proteksyonan ang sarili mula sa matinding sikat ng araw. Ang bangka na may katig naman ay ang karaniwang nilang ginagamit sa paglaot na binuhay ng layag na nagpapakita ng kultura at pagmamahal ng Naikenyos sa kalikasan. Olongapo City, Anita Gomez. Miss Olongapo's national costume is inspired by the legend of Olongapo City. The name, coined from the terms ulo ng apo, is about a beloved leader that was killed by his abductors, leaving the apo's head at the foot of a mountain, impaled in a pole. This costume, designed by Kevin Barotolaba, is inspired by Mayari, a Filipino goddess of war. Mythology has taught us that every goddess has their own capabilities to influence its people, a plausible fact that this may have influenced the Apos abductors. This see-through gown represents every person's humanity. A portion of our lives have been lived with cold hearts and emotions at war within us. Parañaque City, Nela Algerbaju. In the Sunduan, a centuries vintage custom specific to Parañaque, a gentleman fetches his woman at home and brings her to the church or metropolis plaza. To impress his woman and her parents, the gentleman brings with him a marching band that accompanies the couple on their stroll to the church. The romantic subculture dates again to that Spanish colonial period.
Magnificent. That is a batch 4 of our eco-delegates in their cultural attire. But before we listen to the thoughts of our judges for tonight, we would like to give thanks to the municipality of Mandaluyong and Alberto, Philippines, a new lifestyle for supporting Miss Philippines Earth this year. Sir Alex, Sir Eric, and Sir AMEER, anong masasabi nyo sa ating 4th batch? Any standouts?
Well, I can start with I really appreciate the costume of Malangon Sarangani. Yung combination of colors, mas lalo nag-stand out siya. Maganda na siya eh. Mas lalo nag-stand out because of the combination of the color of her costume. Sobrang na-amaze ako. Maganda yung combination ng colors. Bumagay sa kanya at the same time. Yung details sobrang maganda, magaan tignan. Although pag titingnan mo yung costume, parang ang bigat niya. Pero parang ang gaan-gaan tignan para sa akin. The combination of the colors perfect. I also appreciate some costumes. For me, it's unique yung kay Olongapo din eh. Olongapo City, something very unique. Yes. And the rest are, I really appreciate din doon sa mga costume, especially ocean-inspired costume. Kasi nagkaroon bigla, kasi usually pag tinitingnan ko, akala ko usually ang tendency kasi pag ocean-inspired costume, ang tendency kasi parang nagiging hindi na siya national costume, original costume. But this one's, talagang makikita mo, it's a combination of Filipiniana and ocean-inspired costume na parang swak na swak sa kanilang mga probinsya. Ang galing ng pagkakagawa. I have seen a lot of those costumes so far, yung mga ocean-inspired costumes. Ang galing.
Ano yung meron sa tubig at yun talaga yung parang nakuha nilang inspiration?
Mayaman tayo sa kultura.
Mayaman tayo sa kultura.
Yeah, we are an archipelago.
Yes. Yeah. How about you, Sir Eric? Ano pong masasabi niyo sa 4th batch ng ating eco-delegates?
What is good with what we're seeing now is what I want to remind people is that we shouldn't look at costume per se just as mere costume, but as part of culture. No, so yun ang kagandahan ng kasuotan ngayon na nakikita natin dahil nakikita natin yung kultura ng bawat lugar. We see the romanticism of the tradition of sunduan in Parañaque na napaka-romantic, no? Mm-hmm. And then I never knew ang ganda noong storya ng nagtipon ng Quirino when he started by being a headhunter and then being converted into Christianity, no? So the point there being it gives us a glimpse of the culture. No? For example, alam natin agad sa nakikita natin sa kasuotan ni Naik Cavite that it is a fishing village, no? Na ang kabuhayan doon ay pangingisda. So yun ang mahalaga na ang mga kasuotang ito ay bahagi ng kanilang mga kultura.
Wow. What a great observation from Sir Eric. Napaka-critical niyan kasi technical yan tumingin eh. How about you, Sir Alex?
Yeah, this show, this show is different from other costume shows because it puts into context what we're seeing right now.
Yes.
Unlike others, they just parade in front of you, and the story itself is because I'm a writer, I enjoy the story as much as the visual treat in front of me. So maganda yung nangyari ngayon because of. This is another silver lining because of this pandemic, Because normally we would just watch it on TV and then it's fast. You're limited within a certain number of minutes, so hindi maikikwento ng gusto ang mga kasaysayan ng costume. And then the Sarangani and Mandaluyong stood out for me because magkasunod sila and they fuse North and South, Christian and Muslim. Pwede pala yun, pero they seem to have gotten away with it beautifully.
Yes.
Ang ganda ng pagkagawa nila. And then Paranaque, that beautiful girl, bagay na bagay sa kanya. Like sabi nga ni Eric, it's also about the wearer. Right? The costume should complement you. If you look
Yes,
fierce,
the romanticism.
you wear a warrior
napaka-romantic.
costume. If you look sweet, you milk it dry like what Miss Paranaque did. Yon ang mga nagano sa akin. And then Quirino also, I mean the story behind that. I mean, from a headhunter, they became Christians and
Ang ganda ng narrative.
ang ganda ng narrative niya.
The good thing about the competition tonight is that na-explain sa atin, bakit nga ba nasuot yun? Ano kayang ibig sabihin? There's certain symbols and interpretation of the costume that made me understand well the culture that we have here in the Philippines. So maraming salamat din sa mga nagsulat at description na ginawa ng ating mga eco-delegates because we learned a lot about the history of your places. So that's for it para sa ating fourth batch. We would like to give thanks again to City of Mandaluyong and of course Alberta, Philippines for supporting us this year. Whew, 2 more batch and we're done with the Cultural Attire Competition for tonight. Tignan naman natin ano ba ang inihanda ng ating eco-delegates in their cultural attires para sa ating batch 5.
Polomolok, South Cotabato, Precious Valerie Animas. Polomolok, South Cotabato, mainly known as the settlers of many native people, including Balaan and Taboli tribes. This cultural outfit represents the municipality's splendidly gift of pineapple products and processing that bring livelihood to many of the Lumad individuals. The designer used tribal patterns which symbolize the dream weavers of the South, together with their culture, norms and tradition, accentuated with different colors of beads, crystals, and stones to amplify the masterpiece. Puerto Princesa City, Roscian, Bongat. The Palawan peacock pheasant, also known as the Tindican, is not only an endemic bird of the province of Palawan, but also serves as the official seal of Puerto Princesa, representing Tandican through various pageants and festivals to both regional and national competitions is also a part of their call to preserve the species due to ongoing habitat loss, small population size, and limited range, as well as hunting and capture for trade. Its preservation is very important for both the city and the citizen, as the Tandican is the emblem of greatness for the princessans. Quezon City, Angelica, Tagantad. This ensemble is a modern take on the Filipiniana that signifies modesty, elegance, and femininity. Its color promotes the feeling of tranquility, harmony, love, and peace. The printed textile used as an accent in this national costume was inspired by stained glass that symbolizes the Filipinos' religiousness. This symbolic and remarkable piece was impeccably made by the hands of Louis Pangilinan. Rojas, Oriental Mindoro, Marie Manansala. This masterpiece is based on Oriental Mindoro's Binayo, the spirit of the female rice caretaker, also known as Kalagparay. The kare and the dried palay symbolically pertains to the locals' way of performing rules, which are the panmudlak, the rites of the first planting, and mabugkos, the rites of harvesting. Despite the modernization, the local tribe of Mangyan stayed true to their heritage by performing an old-age tradition of hand-weaving. This costume is quality woven and beaded patterned to the Mangyan's dress code, with a touch of earth colors, as Oriental Mindoro is dedicated in protecting their land's riches. Saguday Quirino, Angel Keith Dizon. Reina Elena, the cultural costume tells a story of hope, femininity, and Christianity. Celebrating the annual Santa Cruzan, a festival that is celebrated annually by everyone. It is a manifestation of a new beginning. Her beckoning beauty sparkles and her captivating aura shines from within. San Fernando, Cebu, Quezon, Babatid. As they emerge into a more modernized country, their culture and traditions shall not be forgotten. Her cultural costume aims to pay tribute to their ethnic tribes in the Philippines. Ethnicity deserves to be celebrated, as it reminds them the importance of the distribution of people's color, for the reason that it is a cornerstone in most of our choices. Furthermore, to instill that their differences shall not take them apart, instead it will bring them to a more understanding and inclusive society. San Juan City, Eliza May Sedilia. Miss San Juan City's cultural attire is in the earth color she represents, which is ultramarine. This Filipiniana is inspired from their city's Wata Wata Festival, which they celebrate annually every 24th of June to commemorate their patron saint and namesake, St. John the Baptist. San Luis, Agusan del Sur, Judian Castro. Diwata is the inspiration of her cultural attire, and their Banwaon tribe believes in Diwata. They offer pandaga, or thanksgiving, to their Diwata for all their guidance, protection, and provision. San Marcelino Zambales, Mavi Kabling. This costume, a modern Filipiniana terno, is inspired from the goddess of good harvest and the phoenix that symbolized a new beginning. Made predominantly with wooden beads, abaca fiber, rattan baskets, and gemstones, it presents the rich tradition of weaving and durable stockpile for harvest. The phoenix carries bounty harvest in the headdress basket full of singkamas or turnip, and proudly soars itself to a greater beginning. Silang Cavite, Aliana Villena. True to the traditions of vesting, the Silagueños annually pay homage to Our Lady of Candelaria through the sponsorship of its robes every fiesta. Clothed in satin, silk, or velvet, bedecked with pearls and encrusted with stones, florals, and festoons enliven every fold worthy for their queen, the Virgin of Silang Cavite. Such is the inspiration to this ensemble, notable for its handmade details, similar to the pious devotion which made a simple cloth into a wonder of art and faith. Tedious the craft may be, but the intricacies is the beading that represent the diligence, patience, and resilience of the local people. Silay City, Ria Angelica Celestial de Ocampo, the seat of arts and culture in Western Visayas. She embodies the beautiful warrior princess named Kansilay, who, in the local legend, defended her village from an invasion. The headdress is inspired by sugarcane that gives prominence to Silay and the whole of Negros Occidental. Hence, the province is known as the sugar capital of the Philippines. The basket with sugarcane flowers is a tribute to the farm laborers called Gargatapas, who worked hard for the sugar industry and contribute to the resounding progress of the province.
Wow, for this batch. Grabe naman talaga. Sobrang makulay at nakaka-mesmerize sa mga nakita kong cultural attire. But before that, we would like to give thanks to Conex Holdings and Hype, a company that provides pre-arranged transportation services. Maraming salamat for supporting Miss Philippines Earth this year. Sir Alex, Sir Eric, and Sir Ameer, your thoughts and your standouts about this batch?
Mauna ka na, Amir. Ay.
Sir, can you please unmute your screen for us?
Sorry.
Yes,
Sorry.
thank
Okay.
you. No worries.
Okay. For this batch, I would say that yung mga nag-stand out lang sa akin is, actually, all of these costumes are very good, no? Kasi yung story talaga nila, marami ako natutunan, to be honest, Miss Shane. This is the very, actually, hindi naman talaga ako magaling sa history, but I would say, yung costume ngayon, at hindi ko na tinitignan kung sino yung nagsusuot eh. Tinitignan ko na lang kung ano yung details, ano yung kwento. Doon mo ma-appreciate yung costume. Pag narinig mo yung story behind the costume. So I would give comment to Quezon City, yung kanyang accent ng kanyang costume, yung intricate ng design na Filipiniana, kakaiba siya for me. Sobrang, dinigdan ko yung details niya, yung accent niya, sobrang ganda ng details doon. And I also appreciate yung kay Quirino, yung Reyna Elena costume.
Yes.
As well as yung kay Silay City, yung warrior princess ng Silay, yung story nun, sobrang ang ganda pala ng pinanggalingan nun. So those are the costumes for me na nagre-remind. At isa pa, yung kay Agusan del Sur, na may something about Diwata pala doon sa province nila. So it's my first time actually to hear about that. And dahil doon nagmukha siyang Diwata talaga sa costume.
Yes. I was about to say the same thing. How about you, Sir Eric and Sir Alex?
The good thing about this cultural costumes is for our delegates mismo, for our Miss Philippines delegates, it gives them a sense of pride. Di ba? I think this is very important kasi our delegates are millennials. Yung iba nga dyan, Generation X na, di ba? And then, they are also introduced to the mythologies, to the alamats of their respective municipalities, towns, and provinces. And it gives them a sense of pride in representing their respective regions. I think mahalaga yun para sa ating mga delegates.
Yes, that's right. How about you, Sir Alex? Your observation for this batch?
Ang maganda rin sa costumes na with this kind of presentation, it gives, they never forgot the element of fantasy and magic. Importante yun because this is a costume show. Like Agusan, di ba? Who would have thought? I mean, instead of parading like the rest na Muslim princess, she thought of channeling something else that we didn't expect, And then from Quezon City, what is there to channel in Quezon City? It's kind of difficult, but she found a way, She channeled a modernized Maria Clara with all those intricate beadworks na, was visually pleasing.
Yes.
It was stunning.
And then the one in Cebu with that red, yellow, and with the ikat fabric. Ang ganda rin niya.
Yes, pa.
Mapapansin mo din siya in a good way. So, and then Zambales was also
I was about to say.
May mga fruits na gusto ko nang kainin because ang ganda niya.
Harvest.
It's so real. Yeah. And it paid homage to the fruit industry in the province.
That's right, Sir Alex. Grabe, this batch actually made me realize that tama nga yung sinasabi ko sa girls. I've always been telling them that all of them are beautiful already and smart and had this advocacy, but what will make them stand out is owning their story. So
very important.
Diba, sir? That made them unique because the story that they actually brings to the table right now makes them stand out in their own way. So kudos to those girls that stood out for this batch. And sa inyo mga Earthlings, meron din kayong chance to mag-stand out for tonight by answering this question I've asked a while ago at the start of the show. What makes a costume or an outfit a cultural costume? We will actually give you a chance to answer that question and babasahin namin inyong mga kasagutan at the end of the show. Speaking of the end, this is the last batch of our eco delegates in their cultural attire.
Sinaloan, Laguna, Ileana Marie Aduana. Inspired by the Anilag Festival, a festive celebration featuring the rich harvest and culture of Laguna's municipalities, including Sinaloan, Laguna. They aim to let you experience their festive culture that is centered on thriving agriculture and prosperous harvest. They use sustainable materials like palay, butil ng mais, butil ng munggo, white beans, black beans, inukit na bao, wooden beads, and tanzo to completely embody the Ani ng Laguna theme. The scepter is there to invigorate prosperous bounty and the headpiece to symbolize the crown of praise for the hardworking farmers. Santa Cruz, Davao del Sur, Christine Cadiz. It symbolizes the Philippine eagle, locally known as Bano, whose large numbers reside in Mindanao and represent Davao del Sur province as a land of heights and flight, a place that is a constant journey and aims to reach new and higher grounds for its people, and it flies and soars those heights with dignity and pride as one united and empowered people. Its headdress, which looks like the mane of the lion, attributing to its name of being the bird king, or haring ibon, consists of feathers and cardboard paper designed as kulintang. Santo Domingo Albay, Aubrey Asuncion. Santo Domingo, the most romantic town of Albay, is known for its classical love song, Sarong Bangi, composed by Potenciano V. Gregorio, where emanates the colorful celebration of Sarong Bangi Festival. The cultural attire represents the uniqueness of our town as we celebrate events during nighttime, and marked as the parade of the dancing lions in Bicolandia. The costume is made up of locally produced apica fiber, handmade papers that promote sustainability and preservation of our natural resources. Suwal, Pangasinan, Ina Allen. Breathing life to the legendary Prinsesa or Duha of Pangasinan, known for her unmatched beauty, unparalleled bravery, and immense wisdom, is Miss Philippines Earth, Suwal, Pangasinan. This eco-warrior is said to have descended from the sun to rule over Pangasinan in a great era of peace, prosperity, and abundance. Intricate beadwork and meticulous details adorn the warrior princess armor, echoing her stature both as a genuine historical figure and that of a popular earth warrior folklore. Sugbong Gogon, Misamis Oriental, Catherine Tan Guipatacio. Hand-painted by award-winning visual artist Michael Bacol, Miss Sugbong Gogon, Misamis Oriental is wearing a Filipiniana-inspired ensemble with coconut head embellishment and fringes. Designed by Gigi Aiza, this Kuyamis-inspired cultural attire is a picture of the vibrant history of Misamis Oriental, paying tribute to the province's indigenous past and highlighting its agricultural abundance, especially coconuts, making Miss Sugbong Gogon Oriental truly a personified Kuyamis. The Gig City Gia Gold Bustamante. This cultural costume highlights the highly urbanized infrastructure of the Gig and how this intercepts in nature. The pieces that were put together are the reflection of the interrelation connecting the modernization and conservation between the rising amount of innovations, where the headpiece represents the Conservatory of Plants, and it also reflects the Mine Museum. With the city's constant innovation, it has never failed to preserve nature and connect with its purpose, to take care of the Mother Nature, like the fringes that show how nature is being well taken care of, green parks that are located in the city, that has been helping the balance of the ecosystem. Talisay City, Mia Jane Salisbury. To be a vessel of Talisay City, Cebu means representing the people who are warm and welcoming, just like the warm embrace of the sun. The rays of sun symbolize resilience of her city. Despite hardships and calamities, Talisayans preserved like the sun, determined to peek out of the clouds after a storm. Sofia Lopez Galve. Inspired by the breathtaking and eye-pleasing sea of clouds in the Sierra Madre mountain ranges, Sofia's cultural attire is made of organic materials such as yantok and kawayan, as well as recycled pillow stuffings to recreate the mysticism of the sea of clouds. Sequin patterned fabric and add glamour to the layers, while neon lights of blue, pink, and orange symbolize the magical colors of the sky in dawn and in sunset. Indeed, this collaborative brainchild of renowned designer Patrick Isorena and Miss Philippines Earth Tanay Sofia Lopez Galve is a cultural attire worthy of a woman of the earth. Tungawan Zamboanga Sibugay, Angela Meriza Borja, Gampia Gandao. Good day. Miss Tungawan depicts a Subanan princess that mirrors the beliefs, practices, and experiences of the Aboriginal tribe of Tungawan. Sub, the upper garment, and tapis, lower garment, are black, symbolizing the darkness of the night in the time of worship. The sub and tapis are embellished with elaborate beadworks and sequences in white, epitomizing authority and peace. The Subanan princess personifies the unique cultural expression and the way of the life of the Subanans. Urdaneta City, Marvy Fernandez. Panag-ani, harvest. Urdaneta City is famously known as the trading hub of the north, or Bagsakan. It became a drop-off point for bountiful produce such as fruits and vegetables. The city is also known for its livestock and cattle industry, hence the famous symbol of Urdaneta. The water buffalo, or Calabao, known for its strength, endurance, and indefatigable character. The avant-garde headdress, made with a native basket detailed with well-constructed rubber mats. All in all, the costume is a representation of an eco-warrior, a strong modern Filipina who is ready for saving our environment. Victoria Tarlac, Princess Dano. This costume was inspired of Kulturang Pilipino Tatak Tarlaqueño Malatarlac Festival Filipiniana. A glimpse of Tarlac, unique culture, modern Filipiniana, with wired butterfly sleeves accentuated with bamboo and wood beads. Her costume is made from fully indigenous materials with the help of their very own indigenous Aitas in one of the towns of her province, municipality of Mayantok, who helped them make this costume more unique and extravagant. They use pandan leaves, rattan, apica, water lily, and recycled materials to achieve the eco-friendly theme costume.
That is the last batch of our eco-delegates in their cultural attire. Magnificent. Bravo to all of our local designers who actually made all of those cultural attires. Once again, thank you so much, Tara Fast Break Logistics and the Municipality of Nagtipunan. Maraming salamat po sa support ang binigay nyo sa Miss Philippines Earth this year. Sir Eric, Sir Alex, and Sir Ameer. Ito na yung last batch natin. What can you say about this cultural attires? And of course, any standouts again among these ladies?
Well, it's delightful because now we see costumes with their own lights. Di ba? Talagang nagdala na sila ng sarili nilang ilaw. And,
yes.
but again, it is a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of our local, of our regional designers, and to the community effort of the respective towns. No?
Yes.
What I really like about this is we see grassroots creativity. No? Nakikita natin talaga yung pagiging malikain ng bawat munisipyo. No? And using material available within their area. No, I was delighted to see, for example, in the costumes of Siniloan, no, there were commonalities to the costumes I've been researching in the island of Bali, Indonesia, in terms of using grains and fruit beans, no, mongo beans, lahat yan. I saw that in Indonesia. Proof that there is commonality of usage in the various costumes in Southeast Asia. Yun ang kagandahan na nakikita natin ngayon sa mga iba't ibang mga kasuotan sa mga iba't ibang rehiyon ng Pilipinas.
Wow! Grabe talaga si Sir Eric. Grabe. Ang galing mo talaga, sir, mag-observe. And siguro nag-wonder ako, check ko nga, sino kaya nag-stand out kay Sir Eric sa pagdating sa score? Anyway, Sir Alex and Sir Ameer, any thoughts about this last batch of our ladies?
Should I go first, Sir Alex?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, for this batch, Shane, I would say Siniloan, Laguna, Sugbong, Cogon, Misamis Oriental, check on my list, Tungawan, Zamboanga, and Talisay, those are the costumes for me it's a runaway winner. runaway winner in the sense because it comes into details. And the cultural relevance nandun talaga for me. I see a lot, I mean, the cultural relevance is there. Of course, all of them. But you can easily see na pag sinabi mong ganito yung costume, mapapansin mo agad, ay, yan, sa Siniluan yan. Ay, yan, sa ano yan, ganitong lugar yan. So, the
Hindi
cultural
ba,
relevance
Amir?
is really there.
God is in the details.
Yes. You know, and although for some costumes, it may be simple, but the detailed, sobrang galing ng mga detail, very artistic. And the girls carried it with elegance. Sobrang galing ng pagkagawa. Now this time, Shane, I would really appreciate all of the local designers and really so proud of being a Filipino because, you know, hindi dito ko makikita kung gaano kagaling ang mga Pinoy sa pag-isip ng mga costume, regional costume. Sobrang galing, artistic, very detailed. Yung galing ng intricate ng mga costumes nila ang gagaling. Sobrang gagaling.
Wow, what those words talaga, Sir Amir, nakakakilabot. How about you, Sir Alex? Your thoughts po?
It's also it's also a combination of the lighting and of course the music and the cinematography. Siguro dapat may award na rin next year sa ano.
Yes.
It's continuing.
Talaga.
Pero sabi nga ni Eric, sana naman hindi. I hope we go back to normal next year. I'm praying.
Yes.
But you know, the costume, you look at that camera work, especially the one in Talisay, di ba? Kinunan from how did they do that? May ano ba? May drone ba doon, di ba? I mean, effort talaga eh.
Sobrang effort ng production.
Sobrang concentration talaga.
You have to appreciate the effort.
You have to appreciate that. It was done with love, di ba? Kasi, I mean, magkano lang ba yung ano? I mean, it's a hindi sila kikita ng malaki dito. It's
talagang for love.
For the province, yeah. And for the candidate as well, I guess.
Yeah. There are costumes that are powerful for me. You know, these are the costumes that are powerful. Now, when you see some costumes, you can easily identify this coming from the region. Yung mga ganong costume, parang sobrang na-appreciate ko. And there are those things also na parang natutunan ko ngayon, nandiyan pala yun sa lugar na yan. Yung mapamamangha ka talaga. Sobrang nakakapamangha yung mga ginagawa ng mga Pinoy ngayon. This is a proof and testament na hindi natin kailangan pang magpagawa ng costume sa ibang bansa. Dahil mismong nandito na sa atin ang sobrang gagaling.
Definitely. I agree with you, Amir. And you know, nakita mo na yung effects sa'yo, Amir. Nakita mo yung effects sa ating lahat. You know what this does in our own little way? Kaya mahalaga ang ating mga kasuotan. Kasi ito'y bahagi ng ating kultura. At ang ating kultura, it gives us a sense of nationhood.
Yes.
Yun ang mahalaga. It gives us a sense of who we are, of being Filipino. Diba? And we should celebrate our being Filipino. We should be proud to be Filipino.
Wow, bravo! Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for those words of wisdom. Wow, talaga. As in words of wisdom coming from our three experts for tonight. Maraming salamat po for sharing that. And I just wanted to say, isang takeaway ko lang for tonight. We are our own royalty in our own culture. So let's be proud of being Pinoy. And tama yung sinabi nila Sir Eric, Sir Alex, and Sir Amir. Hindi natin kailangang magpagawa sa ibang bansa dahil mas kilala natin ang sariling atin.
Definitely.
So, kudos to all of our
alam mo, Shane, madagdag ko lang, sorry Shane. May dagdag ko lang. Kaya pala ngayon, natintindihan ko na kung bakit yung mga ibang bansa pumupunta sa atin. Alam mo yon? Kasi tayo yung
mga... At nagpapagawa dito.
May puso. May puso kasi.
Yon. Ibig sabihin talaga nun, yung Pinoy, magaling. Kasi once nakukuha nila yung culture ng ibang bansa, alam na nila kung anong gagawin ng mga costume agad. Mabilis mag-isip ang Pinoy eh. Ang galing.
Ang nakakatuwa, just to add on that, Sir Amir, nakakatuwa kasi napansin ko lang din when I collaborated with different fashion designers, they always ask me first, what's the story of your place? Who are you as a person? Because it's very important.
Mahalaga yan.
Kasi magiging stranger
there should be a story.
Yes, magiging
your
stranger
costume should tell a story.
Diba?
At doon mag-umpisa ang yung pagiging malikhain.
Tama kayo dyan. Kasi syempre, hindi mo magdadala ng maayos ang iyong kasuotan kung hindi mo alam ano ang sinisimbolo ng bawat detalye ng sinusuot mo. So, congratulations and kudos to all of our local fashion designers and also our delegates for doing a good job. Tama nga yan.
Mabuhay kayong lahat. Mabuhay lahat ang mga regional designers.
Sir Shane, to add on, ang galing din i-appreciate ko lang din yung mga production designers ng bawat mga lugar ng mga probinsya, no? Ang gagaling din kasi hindi lang costume kundi nagkaroon talaga ng production design. Alam mo yun?
Career.
Videographers. And of course, the
Choreographers.
production and the LGUs for
Oh.
supporting this.
Yeah, sabi
cause.
nga ni Alex, di ba, it takes a village. It
A
takes a
village.
village talaga.
Tama kayo dyan, sir. So congratulations to the teams behind this successful cultural attire competition. Para suportahan nyo ang 66 eco-delegates na to ay malaking bagay na para makapag-ambag tayo ng konting kasiyahan dahil nga naman very challenging itong panahon na to. Maraming salamat sa inyong efforts. So thank you so much, Sir Alex, Sir Eric, and Sir Ameer. That wraps up our
Thank you,
cultural
thank
attire
you.
competition. But before we close this night, meron kaming katanungan kanina na only if there are actually question or answers na makikita tayo sa ating comment section, and for sure madami kaming nakita. So let's read some of your answers to our question, when can you consider a costume or an outfit a cultural costume? So ito yung mga sagot na nakita namin coming from Apple Escultura Marino. Ang sabi niya, cultural attire or costumes is all about patriotism, celebration, and making history. Di ba nga? Tanda naman yan. He loves patriotism. So the next one nakita namin is from MJ Garcia Solar Sapla. Culture is often perceived in language, ethnic clothes, rituals, traditions, music, and dance. What we usually forget is culture as it relates to spaces and places, which Miss Philippines Earth would like to highlight in her cultural attire. Oh, support pala siya kay Miss Tanay. So meron pa tayong isa pang nabasa for tonight. Let me read this. This is from Legor Ademarab. I hope I read your name right. Culture is often perceived in language, ethnic clothes. I think this is the same thing I read kanina. So thank you so much to everyone who shared their thoughts sa ating comment section, for making that comment section alive for tonight and sending in your love and support to your favorite delegates. Maraming salamat. The winner from tonight's competition, as well as the winners in all the other pre-pageant events, will be announced at the grand finale happening, oh my gosh, malapit na, on Sunday. That's August 8th, 10 a.m. on the Kapamilya channel. Kaya naman, yung big day natin, abangan natin. And of course, that's the big day when we will find out who the next Miss Philippines Earth will be. Grabe naman, ang bilis dumaan ng isang taon. Parang nung nakaraan lang pagising ko, nanalo ko Miss Philippines Bar. Ngayon, mag-turn over na ako. Sana naman next year, magkaroon na tayo ng live coronation. But I would like also to send in my heartfelt gratitude to Carousel Productions for giving me this great opportunity. Maraming salamat, kasi I think this will be my last hosting event with them, because this is the last pre-pageant competition for the Miss
Did you
Philippines.
enjoy your reign, Shane?
I did, Sir Eric, because as much as I wanted to have a live coronation, I appreciate that things happens for a reason. Kasi kung hindi nangyari ang virtual competition, I wouldn't be able to really know myself and know my reason why I joined Miss Philippines
And it
Earth in the
doesn't
first
stop.
place.
You are in Miss Philippines Earth for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yes, maraming kinikilabutan ako sinasabi nyo. But maraming salamat po. Kasi sabi ko nga sa inyo, natutunan natin kung paano i-appreciate ang mga little things in life. We appreciate all the things that is present around us, and not wanting more, but just enjoying the simple things that we have already. So maraming salamat. Always be grateful, everyone, kasi every gising is a blessing. As long as humihinga ka at nagigising ka sa umaga, ibig sabihin nun, may pag-asa ka pa. Until then, maraming salamat to our panel of experts for tonight, Sir Ameer, Sir Alex,
Shane?
Sir Eric.
Can I just
Yes,
plug
sir.
my show for my coming show?
Sure,
May show si Ameer.
Isingit ko na
Any
lang po,
message
no?
you wanted to share?
Oh yeah,
Any
sorry.
message
Yeah, I
wanted
just like
share?
to invite everyone to watch the upcoming Boys Love series, Rainbow Prince, and also Tie the Knot, and my story in Oxin Films channel. So please, guys, do watch. I'll be playing the role of Miss Becky from Mighty the series, and now I'll be playing different character also for Rainbow Prince and Tie the Knot series, and also my story coming very soon. Thank you very much.
Wow! Congrats, Sir Ameer. Gabi, actor na si Sir Ameer. And of course, please follow Missosology Philippines. Isa
Yes,
sa mga
guys.
correspondent niya, si Sir Ameer. Thank you so much, Sir Ameer, for always being with us. Sir
Thank you.
Alex, do you want to thank anyone right now?
Thank you so much again for inviting me. Thank you to Peachy and Eric for this opportunity. Please don't forget to get a the latest issue of PeopleAsia Magazine.
Yes, let's
And-
support PeopleAsia Magazine.
PeopleAsia.ph also, we have a website.
And let's visit also their website, peopleasiaph.com. How about you, Sir Eric, our resident judge?
I look forward to our coronation night on August
Mhm.
8th. And I applaud all our 66 delegates. No, I advise all of our delegates to enjoy the journey. No, win or lose, may uuwi kayong may natutunan, no,
Yes.
sa Miss Earth, and all of you are now environmental Earth warriors.
Wow.
And
Very
congratulations
right.
also to all the Filipino designers. Miss
Yes.
Marlene, thank you, Miss Marlene.
Yes.
Bravo. Iba talaga ang galing ng Pinoy. Kaya hashtag me loves Pinoy designers and me loves Pinoy pride. Maraming salamat po sa ating tatlong experts who are actually graced our virtual show for tonight. Maraming
Thank you for
salamat din
inviting
sa lahat ng
us.
ating
Good night.
Good night.
It's our pleasure. And of course, we would like to send thanks to our Earthlings who watch our virtual show. Maraming salamat po. We hope to see you again very soon. Oh my gosh, this is my last hosting stint for Miss Philippines Earth. Maraming salamat po for the opportunity. And when we crown the new Miss Philippines Earth, abangan niyan sa August 8 sa Kapamilya Channel. This has been your host, Shane Quintana Tormes, your reigning Miss Philippines Fire, saying thank you. Stay safe and let's keep the fire burning in saving and protecting the environment. Bye!